The Big Short is a nonfiction book written by Michael Lewis that delves into the complex world of the 2008 financial crisis and the individuals who saw it coming and capitalized on it. The book is divided into several chapters, each focusing on different aspects of the crisis. Here's a breakdown of the chapters in The Big Short. Chapter 1, The End. This chapter introduces the key characters of the book and sets the stage for the financial crisis. It discusses the financial excesses and the belief that the housing market was invincible. Chapter 2, In the Land of the Blind. This chapter explores the world of subprime mortgages and how Wall Street packaged and sold them as securities. It introduces characters like Michael Burry, a hedge fund manager who discovered the flaws in the mortgage market and decided to bet against it. Chapter 3, Burry. Chapter 3 delves into the story of Michael Burry in more detail. It explains how he conducted extensive research and analysis to understand the impending collapse of the housing market. Burry eventually creates a financial instrument known as a credit default swap, CDs, to bet against the subprime mortgage bonds. Chapter 4, Fly on the Wall. This chapter introduces Steve Eisman, a hedge fund manager who also saw the weaknesses in the mortgage market. Eisman's story highlights the disbelief and resistance he faced from others in the financial industry who failed to grasp the impending crisis. Chapter 5, How to Harvest a Migrant Worker. Chapter 5 focuses on the story of Greg Lippman, a bond trader at Deutsche Bank who recognizes the housing bubble and starts to sell off his mortgage positions. Lippman's story sheds light on the conflicts of interest and questionable practices within the financial industry. Chapter 6, They Ain't Never Gonna Stop. This chapter discusses the challenges faced by those who bet against the housing market. It delves into the difficulties they encountered in finding institutions willing to sell them credit default swaps, and the skepticism they faced from investors and industry insiders. Chapter 7, The Fokkers. Chapter 7 focuses on Charlie Ledley and Jamie Mai, two young investors who start their own hedge fund. They team up with Ben Hockett, a former banker, and form Cornwall Capital Management. The chapter explores their journey as they research and bet against the housing market. Chapter 8, The Secret Lives of Lehman Brothers. This chapter looks into the collapse of Lehman Brothers and the broader impact it had on the financial system. It also highlights the failures and shortcomings of credit rating agencies in assessing the risks associated with mortgage-backed securities. Chapter 9, Wily's Liquidity. Chapter 9 discusses the unraveling of the housing market and the broader financial crisis. It focuses on the challenges faced by the protagonists as they wait for the collapse to occur and the struggles they encounter in executing their bets. Chapter 10, The Long and Short of It. In the final chapter, the aftermath of the financial crisis is examined. It explores the financial gains made by those who bet against the housing market and the ethical questions raised by profiting from the crisis. The chapter concludes with a discussion on the lessons learned and the potential for future financial crises. Overall, The Big Short offers a comprehensive look at the 2008 financial crisis through the perspectives of several key characters, highlighting the flaws and systemic issues within the financial industry that led to the collapse.